G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Enno from Fantasy Take TV. Actually saw George run with that intro last night, which is good to see. But anyway, review for round 4. So you can already see it wasn't a great week for me. Pretty piss poor, to be honest. What was it? 2,064 and dropped about 16,000 spots down to 28k. So yeah, not good. Well under par. The par was probably in the end about 2,200. So if you got anywhere sort of around that or a little bit above, you would have done all right. I mean, average score there, yeah, says 2230. So that's that's what it was. And yeah, not a great week at all. And look, there's some positives, but a couple of negatives. So we'll look to go through those. Had a good weekend. I didn't watch much footy. I'll be pretty frank with you. Watch obviously the Thursday night, Friday night games, and then caught the Saturday night games here and there. Good to see the Tigs get up, but yeah, other than that, I was at the F1 all weekend, so no phone reception, no nothing, and yeah, enjoyed it. It was really good weekend. But I didn't catch much of the games and many of the players in my team and how they went. So I do know what I scored. I do look at the scores. When I could, I did, but I don't really know what happened too much in some of these games, but we'll get to that. And look, I didn't do any trades. So I didn't have any reason to. Already had Nick Martin from round 1. Chose to hold on to Stevens for now just to see if he could get back into the team. Do have Owen still there on the mid bench that needs to go to someone that's going to make me some money, so that will probably happen this week, but we'll get to that in a second. So did start off pretty poorly on the Thursday night with Jake Bowie scoring that 47. Look, Port just played this weird game style, trying to keep the ball off the Demons, which, look, to an extent it kind of worked in the first half. They just couldn't get any score on the board, and Bowie wasn't really... I mean, he does get burnt a bit for what I can see, which is a bit annoying. But look, I got him in for a bit of a cash grab. Wanted to swap Whitfield to Heaney, did that, and happy with that in the end. But Bowie, look, you can hold him for one more week. I think he's got 80 break even around that. See how he goes. If he pumps out a good score again, maybe you can get a couple more weeks out of him. But then if he drops another poor one, you've got to cash in, or you could cash in this week if you really wanted to. But yeah, that started poorly. And then Friday, Tom Stewart out with the gastro just before the game. So that was brilliant. When I just did find out it was gastro, and there's about 10 games until the Easter Monday, or 10 days, sorry, until the Easter Monday clash. It was a hold for me. It is a bit frustrating just being down a primo, but not much you can do, and not just flipping trades or flipping primos for 1 week outs, especially in like round 4. So yeah, just had to bench him. Put the Conning on field as a bit of a punt, to be honest, and I guess it did work out in the end because it was him or McCartney, so happy with that. And then, yeah, just obviously he'll be back next week, or this week, you would hope, so get him back. Shorty, don't really need to say much about him. If you don't have him, then you bloody hell better get him in because he's going to be a top 2 or 3 defender. Dawson, I heard he was only on about 50 at 3/4 time and just had a really good purple patch in the last few minutes, or last 5 or 10 minutes, something like that, and boosted his score really nicely. Something had like 9 clangers. So, I mean, a 150 is coming soon. He just needs to put a whole 4 quarters together, and we'll see that happen. So still happy with the Dawson selection. Hewitt, I did catch a bit of this one at the end of Sunday after I got home, and he looked really good. Obviously, Cripps went down, so he was the main man sort of in there. He's been getting the most CBAs up in the whole season anyway. Did a bit of a defensive job on Took in the first half, but Took sort of broke that anyway. But yeah, love what we've seen from Hewitt so far, and he honestly looks, obviously average-wise, it's 4 rounds, but the top 2 or 3 defender as well. But he's definitely, for me, a lock for top 6 at this stage, so really happy with him. Spoke about the other guys, the rookies, and then, yeah, Stewart hopefully getting back this week. And Paddy Mccartney, a head knock of some sort. I didn't see that either, but hopefully he's okay. But to be honest, I don't see him making too much more money for us. But, obviously we want to get him maybe up to 300 and then reassess there. So the defence, yeah, is a bit undermanned this week, but we'll get Stewart back on probably for. I mean, we need an update on Hinge because he did go off injured, and got subbed, but hit pointer or something. So hopefully that's not too bad. And I still think he's got 100k in him as well. Had a really good role, was pumping out at 80, 90 until this week. So yes, the poor score hurts a bit of the cash gen, but he can restart that easily when he comes back. And if it's only a 1 to 2 weeker, I'm going to be holding him because I think he's a really good on-field option anyway. So that's the back line for now. Midfield, real bounce back week from especially McRae, huge one. I did catch a bit of this game watching the Tigers, and back in the middle, he was really, really dominant. It's just so clean around stoppage. His hands are elite, and then obviously he's kicking inside 50. It's brilliant. There's not much more to be said with McRae. He pretty much looks like M1 at this stage. I know Neil's obviously at the moment, but I'm happy with the midfielders I got. Lockie Neal, the other one. O'Connor didn't really do much to him on Friday night. He broke through that tag pretty easily. It was a pretty poor tag, to be honest. I know it's O'Connor's first game back in the AFL for a bit, but that was a pretty easy tag to break. But good to see from Neil. Took, so he was my captain. Had to use him as backup, and a bit annoying. He just didn't tackle. I don't think he got a tackle. Didn't take many marks, if at all, and just got his 30 touches with pretty poor efficiency, I think, in the 40s or 50s. So it's a bit annoying from him, but, it's probably a pretty flaw game from Took, minus the double tag last week. But you expect to at least get a ton out of Took most weeks, and then with the upside of him putting in some really good scores. So, yes, he's dropped a bit of cash and could get around 600 this week. So if you don't have him, I think he's going to be a good pickup as a mid. Matty Rao is getting a little bit concerning. It's just annoying that we know what he can do, pumping out that 150 in round one. He just hasn't been able to put it together again since. Sort of got to a ton last week from tackling alone, but I think I heard he copped a big knock in this game from Harry Mackay, so maybe that was affecting him. I still think he can get to 500k. I've got big issues in our team, or in my team personally. I don't know about you, but I think most of us would have other things to deal with at this point in time than Matty Rao, so you hold on to him for at least another few weeks, and hopefully he can get another 100k, maybe more out of him. And look, at this stage, it's not obvious that he's probably not a keeper, but that's okay. I went into this pick probably thinking that. I know a lot of people maybe had higher hopes, but if we can get another 100k or so out of him and then flip him later on, that would be ideal. So I wouldn't be trading him out yet. Jared Berry, that was good to see. Really needed that. I thought he was going to be done and subbed in the second quarter when his shoulder was falling off again. He had a couple of knocks on it, but he pushed through like a champion, got us a 90, and that was really, really good to see, and should hopefully get him to over 400k and maybe even more if he puts through a couple of good performances in a row. So happy with Berry, happy I didn't trade him out as well. I know he was the avenue for a lot of people to get to Cripps. I just didn't really want to get rid of Cripps, so I was opting for cash gen, and I liked Heaney more than Cripps at the time. More confident in him being at the top of his line than Cripps was. And look, Cripps is looking pretty good, so he probably would have been, but there's always that concern with him, and it's just in the back of my mind with that guy that he just can't get through a full season. His body's been through a lot. I know it's a very, very minor hamstring, so there's every chance it's just a 1 weeker or something, but still happy. Yeah, the main point of this is saying that I kept on to Berry, and hopefully he can make me a lot more cash, as his ownership's gone down quite a bit, so that's a positive for me. Horn Francis just thrown into the midfield now with a few of their outs and looking really good. I didn't catch the game, but got a North mate that was singing his praises. Apparently, he's really impressive in there. So no, he looks awesome, and obviously on-field option for us for the foreseeable future. Dacos, what the hell is this kid? Is just insane. Didn't catch this game either, but just finds the footy at ease. Another 30 touches. It's just crook. Going to get defensive status as far as I know, so that is going to be super handy for us. Sit at D6 until the buys, and who knows, he could be around the mark to be a keeper. So unbelievable start to the season from him. Really happy with his work. Josh Ward, this one stinks. This one's chose to hold on to him. JD posted that in the week. Looking at his CBAs, it was trending up. Like, he had the most for the team last week, but apparently had them early in this game. Didn't look great. Couldn't find the footy. Didn't do much, and just got just got them all yoinked. Didn't really get any at all for the rest of the game and finished with like 18%. So totally not sure where he was playing. I guess it was probably a bit of half forward or something. But this is pretty annoying. I'm leaking points here. Put it that way. Obviously, Bowie wasn't good for me with the 40, but yeah. Most people I've seen, or the team's doing well. They've got Dacos here at M8, and they're not leaking points by fielding a Ward every week. So that is a point of problem for me. One that we probably will deal with in a sec when I show the trades. But yeah, I'll still hold on to him for now. His break even is still pretty low, but we really, really need that score out of him soon. And if the role is just going to be no CBAs or possible, I'm not going to say get dropped, but it wouldn't surprise me totally. Then obviously we'll have to look to get rid. But yeah, really disappointing from him. Hopefully he can pick it up soon. Stevens, I think he had 20 in the VFL, so we choose to hold on to him for now. Hopefully he can get back into the team. McDonald, the other one, similar to Ward, but 20 points. Playing pretty much all forward, isn't he? And just that 20 is really just going to kill him. I don't really have a reason to trade him. It's a bit of a weird one. He's going to get forward status. Maybe he'll just be used as a swing and hopefully put a good score together. But yeah, I think obviously a bigger chance than Ward. He really could be dropped, but it just depends who they've got coming in. I know Liam Shields is playing in the twos. Do they want to just keep giving, do you want to keep giving games to the kids and get experience into them? That's a possibility. See what happens with those two boys, the two Hawkers. Owens, obviously, he's out. He's one that will probably go this week to get someone making money there. So that's a midfield. We got onto the ruck lines, and yeah, the Shrek was pumped Thursday. Got named. Meek was dropped. Solo ruck against the big Prusy. And honestly, I watched pretty much most of this game, and Prusy dominated him. It was a good contest, but Prusy got more hit-outs to advantage than Darcy did. Obviously a bit of a... you got to have connection with the mids to do that too. But Bruce is really good, and it's pretty similar players, to be honest. Both mountain men throwing their body around, and Darcy just gave, I think, away 4 free kicks in the ruck that hurt him. Just didn't get the hit outs going to advantage to his mids enough. So Mundy first game back. Obviously, Fife coming back soon could help him. Sarong not in the team. So hopefully a few of those experienced guys come back and help him, but he just wasn't getting involved enough around the ground either. I think he ended up with about 15 touches, which is good, and about 10 contested. But yeah, he just really needs to get those hit-outs to advantage going. Did kick a goal late, but pure junk time. That wasn't going to count for much. So yeah, he does have a 240 break even, I think, something around that. Will I be trading him? The answer's probably not. He gets Draper this week. Draper Phillips, who he dropped a 150 on last year. Then he gets, I think, Tom De Conning. And look, if Peternet's not back, we just saw what Witts did to Tom De Conning. They get about 17 hit-outs to advantage. So that's his next 2 weeks. Yes, he will drop cash. That's obvious. But yeah, I'm not going to go... Look, if Bruce was playing and on the bubble, if he maybe didn't get suspended, maybe that's when I would just go down to Bruce, bank the cash, get a primo elsewhere and just call it quits. But I'm not going to go to an English. I don't like an English too much. I know he's looked good, but Gorn is the other one who's come back with a bang this week with the 160. And he's the only one I'd probably think about switching to. And whilst Darcy's not injured, I'm just not going to make a switch now to go across to Gorn. So, I think I will hold him. And I did have the VC on him. That's why I had to go with Took on Sunday. But if you're asking if I'm trading Shrek, I don't think I will be. So, funny thing is, if I was going to last week, I obviously thinking about it, would have been down to Bruce, who, yes, did well, got a ton, but I would have been Berry or I think maybe Owens. I had enough cash up to a Cripps. So silver linings is I didn't jump on Cripps with the cash, who would have had to come probably straight out again and waste some trades. So that's probably the one positive of that. The negatives is Darcy's played 2 games in a month. He's had 70s both times, and he's been a pretty poor selection. But I got the 120 from Hazen round 1. I got the 60 from Hazen round 3 when Darcy wasn't playing. So, look, I've got about an 80 average from my other ruck position, which, yes, is pretty poor when people have Witts, who's going 110, and English is going, 110 or whatever he is, 115. So, yeah, definitely down on points there. But Darcy's the kind of guy that can make that up. So, not all is lost yet. Probably 50k will be this week on him, but I'm still keen to hold on to him for now while he's injured while he's not injured and in the team. So that was that. Grundy bounced back. That was good to see. Could have gone on probably with a bigger score, but Nick Nat is not an easy matchup, and I think Nick Nat had a pretty good game himself. So yeah, good to see from Grundy. And Hugh Dixon, what the hell, 90 plus from him. That's insane. I didn't catch the game, but that's really good. That's hopefully, well, it is now that I've seen Nick Nat. He's actually out with a knee injury for a while, so you'd think Hugh Dixon would be getting some more games there. I know he's not a first ruck option, but they maybe bring in a BJ Williams as the first ruck, and then still have Hugh Dixon in the team as the chop out. So that's good for his future job security. So yeah, he has a bit more money to make, hopefully. Down to the forwards, Dunks, 37 touches, just butchered it a bit. And scoring points at the Dogs isn't always easy when I think they had 7 or 8 blokes hit the ton. So even in a loss. So there's, when you're a little bit down and disposal and whatnot, and everyone else is taking all the points, that can happen. But good to see him getting 30 odd touches in the midfield. That's what we want. Heaney, just so happy I brought him in instead of Cripps at round 2. It was either one or the other. The move to do all three, or get both, was with the boosted trade, would have been a bad call too. So happy what I landed on, getting Heaney and not getting Cripps. So, I think kicked a couple of late goals, which again boosts your score in a close game that was. So a bit fortunate there, but gets West Coast this week, Hawks the week after, who the Saints just kicked 22 goals on. So really looking forward to that for the next 2 weeks for Heaney. He's jumped up a lot of cash as well. So hopefully sort of block some others from getting him. So, really happy with that. Just wished I started him in the end, really. But, happy to be on the Heaney train now. Butters is a bit of a weird one. You'd think now with Ollie Wines down, or I'm not sure how long he'd be out for, if at all. But, you think Ken now would just be putting Butters in the midfield more often than not, and more than he has in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, not trading Butters is, not a problem at all at this stage, or not as big as others. But, persist with him for now. I still think he can be a top 6 forward. Cogs, just one of those classic Cogs games. We see him go massive last week, and then this week he comes out and butchers it like no tomorrow. But, still a hold for us. It's just, probably around the buys we decide, is he a keeper? What's the forward line look like? How many primos have got DPP by then, and will Cogs be a top 6 or top 6 to 8? Can make that decision later on. Cherry, that's a bit of an annoying one. I believe I read he copped a big knock that I think he needed to patch up, or got stitches. He was bleeding a lot and spent a lot of whatever quarter that was on the bench, and so Tog was low and couldn't get on the ground. So I think that's okay. Of course, the score is annoying, much like Hinge, much like Ward and all that. It just kills their cash gen in the short term. So they really need to put in another or a good performance to restart it. So hopefully Cherry can do that this week. Who's he get again? The Dogs. So English, it's not the hardest matchup in the ruck as far as hit-outs go. So maybe he can do well there. Martin, just been a great start for me. I wish he played in round 2 as well. But yeah, he's locked onto my field. Love what he does. Just so clean around the contest. Just does all the right things. Gets in the right positions. I think that's the big thing with him. He's a smart footballer. He knows where to be for the release. Knows where to be. Just knows where the empty grass is. Just so his teammates can get him involved. Which is perfect. That's what you want. You just don't get stuck not finding the footy or not getting use. You're in good positions to get it. So I'm really, really happy with him. Hayes could be back this week with a rider suspension, so watch that space. And Durden should be back after the health and safety protocols. So that's that week. Let's move on from that terrible score. And a few decisions here to make. So obviously O'Driscoll, big ton. Annoying that was his 3rd game after the sub that he was in his first. So that's sort of obviously kept a lot of us from getting him. And obviously if you started him, as you sort of loop for the start of the season, then you're happy you've got him and got that first price rise. But he's about 166, and I just think he has to come in. So that's really not a question for me. He looked really impressive, kicked the 2 goals, but just looked dynamic. Got a lot of speed, that left foot. I liked what I saw from him. It's who is going out. So it'd be nice if I could just do Owen straight to him. I'm just short of that by about 10k, which is a bit annoying. Because then I would just stick to the one trade probably and hold for this week. But yeah, I really want to get rid of Owens. He's not making me any cash. He's just been a bit of a waste of a spot. He's, probably a loop is the only thing he's been useful for, but didn't need to use it this week. If I actually stuck with McRae, who I did have the VC on, then I probably would have used it. But he has to come in, and I think Owens has to go out. So I have to make 11k here for another move. My options are maybe someone like a McCartney and do some DPP and get Bruce in a week early, which is a little risky. Probably not something I want to do. Just wait until Bruce comes back and is going to be playing his 3rd game. The other one is getting in Erasmus. So someone like a Connor McDonald. Oh, actually, I don't think I can quite afford that. So again, like a Paddy or something, and then obviously a Driscoll will be in the back line. And getting in Erasmus. The issue with Erasmus is obviously Sarong's not playing 5 Stilet for a bit, but he'll be back eventually. But yeah, Sarong and then Darcy Tucker. Not sure what the go is there with his seizures that he had the other week. So his job security may not be the best. But I really don't want to be fielding Ward. It'd be nice if I could get O'Driscoll, trade him in with him being on the mid bench for now, but that's doesn't seem possible. So yeah, so we get back to full team. We hold Bowie for 1 more week. Probably get rid of him next week unless he goes really well. Wait on Hinge. Probably play Hinge, but if he doesn't play with that hit pointer, then we play O'Driscoll. I think it's pretty clear that most of us will be going that route this week with the Neil VC into McRae. That's pretty simple. But yeah, that gets me Erasmus on field, and it's only for 1 week. They've got the Bombers on the Sunday night. Rather field him over Ward for right now, and then after this week, all the DPPs open up. So blokes in my team that look to be getting it, I think Dawson's going to get mid, so that could help just with some swings. Hinge, I don't think is going to get it anymore, which is a little bit annoying. He will have to play this week and then play more up the ground, but I just don't think he will anyway, even if he does play. So that's everyone from there that will get it. Anyone in here, I think everyone keeps mid. So Dacos obviously will get defence. I'm pretty certain of that. Erasmus, no. McDonald will get forward, so we could swing a forward into the mids, which could help the M8 position. No one here will get it. Darcy, don't think is going to get forward status. And then Dunks, I think Heaney will get mid status and Butters, which is good. So again, they're forwards obviously, but just could help with some cover. Cogs has already got it. Cherry obviously will get ruck status, and I think Martin's going to get mid status as well, which is nice. And then Durden won't get anything else. So that could help where I, maybe field a Nick Martin at M8 after this week. So get some good points there, and then, maybe trade in a forward when I get rid of Bowie, who will probably have to go, maybe a Taranto or something like that. So that's where I'm at right now. Obviously the issues are, okay, 1, Paddy Mccartney, is he really a trade out? Wait and see until we get some word on how he's going with that concussion. I think he came back on, so it could be all right. How much money is he really going to make? That's my question. I know he's been intercepting well, but it probably relies a bit too much on them. But look, he's locked best 22. That's a good thing about him as well. So it's a bit annoying, but unfortunately, I just can't do the Owens to O'Driscoll trade in one. So something else has to happen. The other thing is I could just do Connor McDonald straight to O'Driscoll and just hold Owens for 1 more week and maybe use him as a loop and then see if there's someone else to get the week after or something like that. So maybe that's the way that I go. And then, obviously bringing Erasmus in, is that really a good idea? Thing is, maybe it's not for the short term. Maybe he plays again and then plays again, and then, Sarong's back, Tucker's back, Fife's not far away, and he's out of the team. But I think he plays games anyway, eventually throughout the year again. Is that worth getting in a 160k mid? Don't know. But he's averaged well. What does he drop to? 58 and a 70. So if he can drop 70s, he can make us some good money. Do what we thought Dylan Stephens would do for us, and that would be very handy. But it's a little bit of a tough one. Let me know what you think I should do. Do I do these two moves where I get rid of Paddy and Owens, or maybe I just do, McDonald's probably killed his cash gem with that, and maybe he's even dropped. So maybe it makes it easy where I just go McDonald's straight to O'Driscoll, field O'Driscoll M8 for the week, and then once the DPP opens up next week, make some moves there. We get Dacos, probably get rid of Bowie, right? Put Dacos there, and I'm happy to field Hinge and Dacos for the time being at D5 and D6. Probably look to get a mid in. Obviously, there's guys like Petracco who's going to be dropping. Clary just dropped to 60, which is crazy, so he'll be coming way down. We'll take a quick look, maybe just while we're here. There's a lot of good mids that are going to be under 600k pretty soon. So we just go by price. So we've got, Clary dropped to 60. He will be definitely under 600k. And with GWS this week, he might get another low score, which is crazy to think we could get him around 550. Still, he's probably fine. He'll hold his price. He's already dropped 50k on the season as it is. Laird looked pretty good, and he's second game back after the hand injury, so he's one to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if he's around top 8. He pretty much was last year, even though he's a defender. Took's going to drop a little bit more again, just a couple of 70 and 100, so he might get towards 600. So if you don't have him, he's definitely a target. Brayshaw, he's one as well. That I think that 180's gone now out of his system, so a couple of lowish scores, he might drop back down to 600-ish. The Bont's an interesting one. I've seen him. Obviously, you guys have all got Cripps replacements if you guys own Cripps, and he's out for a little bit of time. Bont is a good one, I think. Just a few low tons to start the year. Was a bit injured, and then bang, 130 this week against the Tigers. Dogs have got a really good run coming up. They need to get their season sort of on track and bank some wins. So could see the Bont start to turning it on. He did it last year. I didn't own him, and it was absolute pain. So he's one definitely that you should be looking at. Walsh, he's around 600k. I remember last year, once he hit 600k, I don't think he went under it again until he got tagged late in the year. Lyons not an option. Ben Keys, 125 average to start the year. If that tickles your fancy, why the hell not? But not for me. Petracca, another one, 85. After a big first round, a good second round, he's gone back-to-back sub-tons, I believe. So he's dropping as well. So it's the two Melbourne boys who, again, I think their run's really good, like the Dogs after this week. So, and then we get down, and there's still Mills here, who I think can go 115. Playerish, who can go 115 as well, 120. Some crazy good value there. So that is where, if we go back to my team, I want to be upgrading next. So as I was saying, we get Dacos back after getting rid of Bowie. Field him and Hinge there for the time being, provided Hinge is alright. O'Driscoll's there as well. And just get into mids. So start getting, push Dacos push Horn Francis, about M7, M8. And just get in some of those fallen mids, which I want to do soon. Maybe, as I said, Nick Martin can be fielded there as well. So, once the DPPs open up, it'll be it'll just make it a lot more easier, more flexible, can move our players around more. We just need some rookies coming in. A few of them came in too early. Guys like, I think, hopefully Elijah Hollands maybe a game soon, but after a win, maybe he doesn't get one for a little bit more. Him and Cheetahs, I think, are playing well on the twos at the moment. There's a couple of guys, I think there's a Josh Fahey, who plays for GWS, who's a base price defender. Maybe he gets in. He had a good game on the weekend. Someone else I'm missing. Maybe some more Hawks rookies come in for the blokes that aren't going well. But, few decisions to make this week. So at this point, I've made the two trades getting in Erasmus and O'Driscoll. I'm not set on that. Just need to decide whether Erasmus is a good in with his job security problems, and whether or not, Paddy Mccartney going out is a good move as well. So that's where the team's sitting. Look, rank isn't great. It hasn't been a good start to the season, but it can turn. And using these boosts, and still got a lot of trades. I know people have really been smashing the trades out already, so that's a positive that I've got. Can I use the boost in those trades to sort of catch up, in up until the buys, and then really make some moves around the buys? That's the plan this year. Will it pay off? Who knows? It's a different season this season, and I'm all up for trying to maneuver through it. So. Let me know how you went. Let me know what you think I should do, or what you think of those current plans. And then, we'll be recording the podcast tonight, and that'll be up tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like 80. Pulling out the coupe at the light.